all flight attendants so beautiful and smiling so brightly? I have, and that question reminds me of myself every time I step into the cabin, sit tightly in seat 17A, and see a world that is definitely different from everyday life. I am the type of person who likes to sit and observe. I am always curious about the way a flight attendant, her hair neatly tied up, her lipstick just right, her uniform straight to the millimeter, walks through each row with a smile that never fades. And then, when I have many opportunities, my job requires me to move around frequently, I gradually understand that smiling is not only polite or required, but is an invisible but extremely effective soft power. I remember a night flight from Da Nang to Saigon. I was tired, my head was aching, and there was the sound of a baby crying, and I was uncomfortable. I was really strong. So at that moment, a friend continued to walk up and gently asked, "Do you need more water?" Oh my God, that voice, that look, that demeanor seemed to have the function of calming the nervous system. I could only nod and smile, feeling easier to breathe for sure. Afterwards, I asked him a small question, of course, when everything was calm, no need to breathe. He said, "We are trained not only in service skills, but also in how to control our emotions. On a long flight, passengers are tired 1, exhausted I am 10 times more tired. But no one wants to see their waiters slow or listless." Listening to that, I surveyed the ground. I started to pay more attention on the following flights. The next members are not only beautiful in appearance, but the beauty of meticulousness, from the way of greeting to each step, each time a stranger comes. That beauty is not associated with makeup, but is the way people are fat with their jobs, doing everything regularly, as if exactly like that because you are in a special environment. In the sky. No try again, no to handle later. Everything needs to be available, from a type of water powder to first aid skills. Once I witnessed an elderly person being given a blood pressure monitor on a plane. Don't approach the member, and there is no wine or cheers. One person calmly handles the problem like a professional nurse, another reassures the family, still with a gentle faith and a gentle smile. That's when I understood that beautiful and smiling is no longer something superficial. It is a field. It is the ability to bring a sense of security in the clouds. And from then on, whenever someone made a joke like "flight attendants to observe," I just laughed, "You haven't flown enough." Because if you have ever had a bad flight, a mild hysteria, or simply a lazy morning and someone asked you with a kind look, you'll understand that what follows is not just someone who spits water and gives out cold towels. They are beautiful people. In the most beautiful sense, beautiful in pressure, beautiful in discipline, in each time they lift their head to make others feel a little more comfortable. And so each flight after that for me is no longer just sitting still, sleeping to pass the time. I started to observe more, sometimes just a quick glance when the flight attendants are preparing to take off. They check the seatbelts, lock the luggage compartment doors, adjust each other's uniforms. The movements are very small, but they show the smooth coordination of a professional performance team, except that their audience is 180 passengers floating in the air. I used to think that beauty on the plane is something that is acted, a mask of the service industry. But no, if it were an act, they would not be able to maintain it after flying all night, traveling continuously without weekends, or being yelled at by difficult customers just because they ran out of chicken. That beauty is something that people forge, live with, so that every passenger, whether an old man visiting his children in the US, a couple on their honeymoon, or a man having a headache because of work, feels like they are being treated with kindness. Many people ask me, have I ever met a grumpy flight attendant? Yes. They are also human. They have days that they are tired, days that their voices break, and days that their moods drop. But what I learned is that every profession has its dark side, and what makes a person worthy of respect is not that they are always perfect, but that they try to keep the best part of themselves, even when they are exhausted. Maybe that smile is part of the job, but maybe it is their choice, the choice to bring positive energy to others in a space where distance, anxiety, and pressure can easily multiply because we are flying in the sky.